Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. Welcome to a live edition of Podup Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. It's Friday, folks. It's Friday. We got a lot to talk about. Seth Harp will take over the second portion of the program. If you missed it last night, the FAU Owls, coached by former Gator Dusty May, move on to the Elite Eight, and a local kid actually plays for them that I grew up coaching in football and basketball. Brian Greenlee, better known as BJ, is their starting point guard. So congratulations to them. UConn destroys Arkansas, and we have Gonzaga moving on as well. Got some games today. We'll talk to JC about it. Gators are at Ole Miss in baseball for a series, and softball's at Arkansas. Also, Gators losing offensive lineman. Is going back to the transfer portal. Kid that transferred here from Baylor. There's something going on there. I don't know all the details. But anyway, JC, you're on the Titan Lamar Hotline. What's up?
Hey, well, yeah, I watched that basketball last night. Big weekend of baseball coming, and at Swayze Field in Oxford, Mississippi. So that is
one of the greatest venues in all of sports.
Yeah, that is a great place to watch baseball. If you ever wanted a road trip and follow the Gator baseball team, which is a good idea because they win a lot, this would be the trip for you because you'll experience some real action. They'll have 13,000 fans there. The outfield will be full. The grandstand will be full. It's going to be a good series. This is a 13th ranked Ole Miss team. It's pretty good. That is the defending national champions. And you got the Florida Fighting Gators coming in here. Bats are loaded, ready to go. I mean, this is really kind of hidden under the weeds because of all the other things like March Madness. But for local Gator fans, this is a big deal. And so I'm kind of really curious to see how this works out for the Gators. I guess Sproat will throw tonight, and getting off to a quick start up there would be a great idea. But you talk about quick starts. UCLA got off to one last night, and Gonzaga just came storming back in that game, as did FAU against Tennessee. FAU was down double digits in the first half and just locked down the Vols. They couldn't throw it in the Hudson River last night in the second half. So good for the Owls.
Yeah. And the K-State game was maybe the greatest basketball game I've ever watched.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, you got overtime there. Kansas State and Florida Atlantic, who had them in the bracket in the Elite Eight coming out of the East? So that's a big deal. And, they're going to play the winner of Gonzaga UConn, I guess, in the Final Four. So this is one step away for Gonzaga once again. Big win last night. I mean, coming back against a very good UCLA team really showed me a lot about Gonzaga. I didn't think they had it in them. And UConn is just a team that we've seen here. I think they are defensively just as good as anybody. I mean, they really are good. So,
well, think about this, JC.
Mm-hmm.
Now that so K-State, FAU, Gonzaga, and Connecticut all have a chance to go to the Final Four. Florida played three of those teams, lost all three.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are transferring out, which we expected. So tonight you have where is it?
Tonight you got
Alabama. Alabama has a tough one against San Diego State. Be careful, JC. If y'all don't make at least 7 3-pointers, you ain't gonna win.
If y'all, I'll make sure that we do.
Houston and Miami could be a good one. My Blue Jays of Creighton, they're going to take care of Princeton. And then I think Xavier scores. They just score the basketball so well. I think they beat Texas.
So in this game, in this scenario tonight, if you are inclined to do so, taking all 4 dogs, you can't go worse than 2-2, right? I mean, look at these point spreads.
Well, nothing's guaranteed, JC. Nothing's guaranteed.
I get it, but San Diego's getting almost 8. That's a lot. Princeton's getting 10. That's a lot. Miami's getting 7.5, and Xavier's getting 4.5. Those are, I mean, if these are going,
JC, you've been out to Vegas. They don't build those big structures because stuff's easy. And you're sitting here telling all your loyal listeners that that's easy. Be careful. Don't follow JC.
Well, wait a minute. I'm saying right now, I bet tonight you won't go worse than, and the idea isn't to break even, certainly, but I don't think you do worse than 2-2 if you just do dog day. And I mean, if you take all the dogs, I think Miami will stay with Houston. That's an athletic team. And then Texas and Xavier, I mean, that's going to be tremendous. And then that could set us up for a Houston-Texas matchup in KC for the winner going to Houston to play in the Final Four. What a potentially great matchup that is. I think this tournament has really given us everything
we want. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. And I think you'll see it continue tonight. Joseph on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, has a question for us. He says, what's y'all's opinion on possibility of the Gators playing Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma every year with the other 6 SEC games being a rotation?
Well, I didn't hear about Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma's permanent opponents. I thought we were looking at, definitely Georgia, Oklahoma, and I thought it was another one. Was it Texas, they said? I don't think it's Texas. I want to say it's a different school. Something like Tennessee, maybe. Georgia, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. I think permanent opponent would be 2 out of the old Eastern Division for Florida. But, I mean, can you imagine not having a Tennessee game? Florida and Tennessee? No. You got to have that. So I think they'll have Tennessee. I know they'll have Georgia. And then I'm thinking one team out from the western part of this conference, and it'll be probably Oklahoma. That's what Ross Dellinger said. I tend to believe a lot of what he writes. So,
yeah. Daniel says Timmy stacks up against some of the great legendary college greats. Do you think his talent will transfer to the NBA? He reminds him of Larry Bird. He doesn't shoot the ball like Larry Bird. He's more of a down low post player, but he's so crafty. Yeah, he'll play in the NBA. He'll play in the NBA.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely a NBA guy. What does Gonzaga have without him? Really, not a whole lot. So, I mean, they got a lot.
Well, that's not true, JC. I mean, they go to the Elite Eight every year.
Well, yeah, but this is their best player. I mean, it's hard to win without your best player. It's just hard to win without your best player. I think this Alabama-San Diego State game is going to be really fun to watch. A lot of athletes running around out there. That could be, in the Texas Xavier game, I think tonight will be the 2 most competitive games. Princeton Creighton, I'm not really sure how to read that one. I'm just shocked that Princeton is doing this well, but they know exactly what they are and how to play. And then this Houston team, they scare me. If Sasser is healthy, this is a good damn team. And Miami, I can't, you can't just say, well, it's Miami, they're going to fade and disappear. They are athletic and very fast.
What if Miami and FAU play for the national title?
That's right. And all Florida natty. I mean, now think about that. Jeez. So, but I don't know. I think you're going to see Houston and Texas win. I think Alabama will win. I think Creighton will win. And that's going to set up for a great matchup on Sunday. But I love the Gonzaga-Connecticut game to see if the Zags can score. UConn is just physical. They're defensive. A lot of people just didn't really pay much attention to UConn going into this because I didn't see a lot of folks picking them for the Final Four. I mean, some did, but they're just really tough, man. UConn is well coached. That's a good team.
Yeah, Mark Fuse. John says, "Come on, JC." Mark Fuse taking the Zags to the Elite Eight 5 out of the last 8 years.
No, I get it. They've had the benefit of some really good teams, but they just can't get over that hump. They were in the final game a couple years ago, and Baylor beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that was their chance, and they're good. I mean, they are, but I don't know. They play in a conference that I don't think.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. The conference has
Well,
nothing to do with it.
I just think
I mean, now look at FAU. FAU plays in,
yeah.
What are they in the Sun Belt? I don't even know what conference they're in.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But look, I know Gonzaga's in it every year. There's no doubt about it. They get a gaudy record. They get a nice seeding somewhere out west. They usually play in a very, a region that I just think that it sets up well for them, but they still haven't gotten over the hump with great teams. I mean, that team that lost to Baylor was a very, very good team. You called them the best team you'd ever seen. But
yeah,
Baylor just pushed them around now. And we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hey, Chris Doing Mortgage. They do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doing Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. Speaking with JC on the Titan MR hotline, second part of today's program, Seth Harp. He'll be breaking down the brackets and talking Gator sports as well. JC, Andy, I'm sorry. You're exactly right. The Owls are in Conference USA. They moved to the American Athletic Conference next year.
Boca,
but what a
baby.
story! What a story there! What a story! They played hard.
Yeah.
They just kind of hung around in the first half. I fell asleep in the second half, quite honestly. But they hung around the first half. They could have gotten blown out, but
QB Tennessee just could not score any points. They went on I think a 15-2 run in the second half, and it was over. I mean, they were banging threes. The crowd was getting into it. You could sense that the folks in Madison Square Garden were kind of pulling for this no-name team out of Boca Raton, Florida, right? And next thing you know, Tennessee's heading home. And, listen, Rick Barnes does a great job with the balls. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you're a Tennessee fan. They have right now, their athletic department is rolling. You got great baseball, pretty damn good football, and really good basketball. I think you should be happy to be. And their women's basketball team is always good. So I think Tennessee's okay, but yeah, tip your cap to the Owls, man. We'll see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, speaking of women's basketball, Gator women's under Kelly Ray Finley won again at Clemson last night, so they continue in the NIT. And also want to give a shout out to one of our swim relay teams broke some record, but it seems like they always break records. We don't give them enough love on here, but
who was it? Do you know who the swimmers were, QB?
No, it was it was like it was the men's team. It was like it was one of them medley races. What are they called?
Medley. What is a medley? A medley is something like what you.
That's where one guy. I think that's where one guy does the freestyle. The other guy does the breaststroke. The back. I don't know. I don't know what event it was. I'm sure somebody will let us know.
He runs the freestyle. Well, look. I mean, if you go run the freestyle in swimming, and the other guy runs the butterfly, I guess medley would be an assortment, right? An assortment of swimming techniques, maybe. Yeah, we're butchering this, but that's okay. That's okay. It makes me laugh.
All right. So, JC,
all right, golf.
Have you seen any of the World Golf?
Yeah, I watched Scotty Scheffler beat some poor slob 5-4 in Austin, Texas.
But did you see Rory McIlroy on 18? The hole was 438 yards. Okay, just for all our listeners out there.
I saw it.
This is a par 4, 438 yards. He flies it on the green to about 4 feet with his driver. So he carried it like 415. Was it downwind? Please tell me it was downwind.
No, it's not a 400-yard hole. It's not a 400-yard hole. It's a 360 something.
I just looked it up. It's 438 yards.
No, it's not that far.
All right. Well, the PGA Tour app is wrong then.
Well, I maybe it's right, and the Score mobile app that I read is wrong, because I can't imagine the 18th hole being under 400 yards as a par 4. Either way, he did. You're right. He drove it to 3 feet on the green, whether it's 300 or 400 yards, whatever. The guy drove it 3 feet to the hole with a driver. You know what else he did? He was chipping from the side of a cliff. I don't know if you saw this. Something like a 50-foot high cliff. He has literally got his right foot an inch. I mean, nerves of steel, this guy, McIlroy. And he chips the ball. He was on the side of a cliff. I wouldn't have gone near it. I just told the caddy, we'll take it unplayable. I'm not going over there. It's unbelievable. McIlroy powers his way to another win in match play. I got to find out. Okay, So according to this app I'm reading, the hole is 375 yards, and he hit it inside 4 feet. So
Okay.
that's
All right.
stunning.
Just so I know, just people are butchering me or just killing me here about medley. I swear there's like a medley race. Is there not?
Kimmy,
But hey,
you're an all-American athlete from Pascagoula High School. How do you not know what swimming races are? I mean, come on.
well, I swam when I was young, but I didn't. I was flat out freestyle guy. I could go. Uh, they broke a record. It just says they broke the 200 free relay. They broke the 200 free relay record. So there you have it. But I want somebody to tell me what the relay's called when one person swims the breaststroke. There is a medley race. See, I knew it. Thank you, Andy. It's the back, the breast, the butterfly freestyle. People talking about them singing and all this stuff. I knew what I was talking about.
Look at
Take
that.
that, JC.
Look at that. He's on the side of a cliff. Look
Wow.
at that.
That's great.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me, these kids these days. I mean, Rory, geez, you're amazing. But yeah, and then they do show, here's his drive. He hit it 370. Yeah. I mean, it's just sick. And yeah, I mean, but listen, speaking of who's going to win this thing, I mean, anybody can win. And, it's
here's what I don't understand. Everybody's still in it, right?
Yeah, whether you lose, you're playing another match. I guess it's kind of
it
like
started Wednesday. It started Wednesday, so they play Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know if they've cut since then. So I think it's kind of like a pool, like in the World Cup. It's very hard to follow.
7 rounds. I mean, 7 rounds. 7 rounds? That sound right? I don't know, but it's a lot of golf, and I love the guy in Austin who played his college golf there, Scotty Scheffler. I mean, that's not really going out on a limb, but
no, it's not. I went out on a limb the other day when you failed to join the program on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and I picked three guys for no reason at all, and they're all. I picked Tom, Terrell, and Tom. Tom Hoagie, Terrell Hatton, and Tom Kim. Those are the 3 that I picked.
How are they doing?
I believe they're all still there because I don't even know. I don't even know if it matters what you did your first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I don't.
It's very hard to follow.
Well, Alex Noren lost, and he's playing some guy named Riley today.
Davis Riley. You should know who Davis Riley is. He's an
Davis
Alabama
Riley.
guy.
Yeah. And that's correct. You're right. Patrick Cantley's another guy who plays these things really well. These match plays. He's just so stoic, and he's an assassin. I like Patrick Cantley. So anyway, going back to what we talked about opening the show, this Florida Mississippi baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to tell you this. I looked at the schedule for the Gators. This might be maybe the hardest road trip they have. I think they're playing Tennessee here this year, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I just know that you're going up there. The defending national champions, bro, Ole Miss.
I knew they won the national championship. It seems like they won it like a couple of years ago. I know Mississippi State did, but
it went State and Ole Miss back to back.
Yeah.
The state of Mississippi is a baseball capital of college baseball capital of America.
I mean, we just produce athletes.
Yeah, I mean, you do got a lot of Hall of Famers out of that great state, which is where I'll be going next week. I can't wait. So tonight's game's at 7:30. It's on the SEC Network, and all these games are on the SEC Network Plus. Okay, and then Saturday at 2:30, and then Sunday at 2:30 Eastern. Gators, Mississippi, man. That's good stuff right there. That's going to be outstanding.
Are you in the market to buy or sell your home? Doreen Weeby, a realtor with Caldwell Banker, M.A. Parish, will value your fast, friendly, reliable service. Call her today at 352-562-1411 to help your dreams come true. All right, JC, before we get out of here and turn it over to Seth Harp, we got to do our Peachland Dental picks. Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com. We kind of went through it a few minutes ago, but, people want to know the JC's picks of the week for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You're gonna have to pick all 4 games because there's only 4 games.
No problem.
So Alabama laying 7.5 to San Diego State. Who do you have?
Well, this is tough because I want Alabama to win, but if I were just totally nonpartisan here, and I was taking, I was sitting someplace in Vegas. I'd take the points. I'd take San Diego the points.
All right. And Joseph said on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, Gator baseball's at Tennessee this year. The only good home series he says that we have is against Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah, that's at the end of the year. That's like almost in May. Yeah, it's in April or something. Late April, May. Yes, I think he's right. That's right. They play at Knoxville.
Well, yeah, he probably knows it a lot better than you do. The Cougs, 7.5.
Give me the Canes with the points.
All right. And then my Blue Jays -10 against the Princeton Tigers.
Tigers, definitely. Tigers. Give me the 10.
And then the Musketeers.
I'll take your Musketeers.
Horns.
Yeah, Musketeers with the points. I want all the dogs. No worse than 2 and 2.
The only dog I don't think that will cover will be Princeton. I think Creighton lays it on them tonight.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's a Cinderella story for sure. It could end badly for them. Creighton's playing well. I mean, they've never gotten past this part, though. I mean, this is the deepest they've ever gotten, I think. So they're on a mission.
Well, and somebody picked them to win the national title in December.
No, I mean, you're right. They got to win 4 more games. That's all they got, dude. You win 4 more games, and your prediction will become reality. Unbelievable. How do you do it, QB?
Well, your team didn't even make the tournament, by the way.
Well,
and you just happened to go. You went out on a limb and picked the number 1 team in America at the time.
Yeah. Well, that shows you how little we know in October. That's for sure.
Well, no, little you. My team is still playing.
Okay. Well, I would say the majority of America thought that North Carolina would make the big dance. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, look, they sucked this year. Hubert could have done a lot better. I mean, they were so good last year coming out of the 8th seed and making it deep. But hey, this year, bad job for Hubert.
Right,
then they told the NIT
quick,
to screw themselves, and they didn't want to even go play in that.
Real quick, give me 3 golfers. I picked these on Wednesday. I'm letting you have a little advantage. I got Tom Hoagie, Terrell Hatton, and Tom Kim.
Well, I want long hitters in this deal. I like it. I want Scheffler. I'll go with Scheffler, Rory, and I think Tony Finau is going to come out of nowhere and play good enough to advance to whatever level they have to be to play on the weekend. Yeah, I like Tony.
All right. Well, JC, good stuff as always.
Yeah.
Good luck to the Tide today. We'll see what happens.
Keep going. We got how
many? I'm very disappointed you're not going to the game.
Well, we came really close to going to Louisville, but because of the trip next week to Jackson, Mississippi, I just said it's too much. I can't handle it. But if I wasn't going to Mississippi, I'd be in Louisville right now. That's for sure.
All right. That's JC. Join us on a Titan MR hotline. We'll talk to you on Monday, JC.
Okay, bud. Thanks.
Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Nike, International Diamond Center, Dave & Buster's, Palmetto Moon, Escape Apology, Visors, and the HBC's restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We'll see you at Celebration Point where the Gators go to celebrate. I want everybody to know as well, once the XFL season's over, this podcast will be back in full force as usual, live Monday through Friday. And I can't wait to get back to our regular scheduled programming. But we're going to take a quick time out, pay some bills. When we come back, Seth Harp will take over, come out of the bullpen. You're watching and listening to Podup with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peaceland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise.
Campus USA Credit Union.
QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, and watch. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co., Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Doreen Wibby, Realtor Caldwell Banker, MM Parish. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Aver and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Hi, this is Steve Spurrier, former head ball coach of our Florida Gators. Business is booming at our restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. So we're looking to hire 3 top quality front of the house managers and assistant managers. Restaurant talent acquisition is like building a championship football dynasty, and I'm recruiting great people to join our newest team. Thanks to the overwhelming support of people here in Gainesville, the Gator Nation, and fans of all the teams, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is one of the busiest restaurants in the state. And with our weekend brunch buffet and our takeout options coming soon, we're looking to add a few new restaurant leaders. Everyone knows a coach sometimes is about as good as all of his talent, his players, and his assistant coaches. And if you have a restaurant management experience and are looking to work in a fast-paced, fun environment, then go to www.spurriers.com and apply today. Thank you, and go Gators.
Seth Harp, Harp on Sports, with you here on this Friday. Thanks to JC and Shane. First half of the show, I got you the rest of the way as we head into the weekend. What do I have on the docket for you? Well, this week was a monumental tone shift for college sports in the reality business. Something that Notre Dame's brass did that I think people are missing the point of the op-ed that they took out in the New York Times about how college football and the NIL's ruining it, and why college football presidents and athletic directors think you're stupid. They do. ADs and school presidents think you're dumb as fans. That's what that op-ed was about. So I'm going to look at that. Also, the NFL is talking about flexing games with teams with losing records. I love it. I absolutely love it. And a way to maybe apply that to the Southeastern Conference as well. Again, Seth Harp, Harp on Sports, with you here on this Friday. Here's what I think is fascinating about what's taken place this week. Jack Swarbrick and John Jenkins. John Jenkins is the president of Notre Dame. Jack Swarbrick is the athletic director. And I think this is important because ADs and presidents, they're very insular. They keep things in-house. The negotiations are never public. They are fantastic poker players. They're also fantastic at cheating at poker, ADs and presidents. And what they did this week is they unveiled a little bit behind the curtain. And not only affects Notre Dame, this affects all of college sports. They are no different than any other athletic director or any other president in a major program. And what they did this week was essentially tell everybody that the way the NIL is set up, the NCAA needs to step in and get things in line. The NCAA needs to get this fixed, or financially everybody will be in ruin. These programs have never made more money. These programs have never negotiated higher TV deals in terms of financial prowess. These programs have never had higher projections. These programs made money. I want you to think about this. College football programs made money during COVID. Fans were cut by 80%. You didn't get to go to games, which means you didn't get to visit the bookstore, which you didn't get to shell out as much cash as you would. Every other business suffered, for the most part. Pharmaceutical didn't, but every other business suffered. College sports didn't. They still made their TV money. There's a great line that Michael Corleone has that talks about how the rich manipulate the poor because the rich have this disdain for money, at least publicly they do. What these guys did this week in this article about the NCAA needs to get involved, the NCAA needs to fix this. The athletic directors and presidents bitched and moaned and whined and cried for years about the NCAA. Well, we'll just break off and do our own thing. We'll just break off and do our own thing. We're just going to go do our own thing. And then NIL happened. And what happened was ADs and presidents across the country tried to manipulate the NIL with collectives because they overvalued themselves. Florida's one of them. You know why Florida's struggled with the NIL? Because they overvalued their worth on the national stage. Well, people are just going to want to come here. Why? These places have failed with the NIL because they put program over players. They put program pride over players. UConn is about ready to go back to the Final Four. What's their coach's name? They're going to go back to the Final Four because they've got the best front court in America. Players over program pride. Players over program past. I hear it every day at the station. Spurrier, Donovan, Spurrier, Donovan, Spurrier, TiVo. That has nothing to do with winning today, folks. Nothing. Zip. Nothing. So when you sell NIL kids, you sell 18, 19-year-olds on, hey, come in here. We can't pay you as much, but look how great we are. They don't give a damn. They do not care. They care about themselves. The programs that put players over past pride win. Why is UConn winning? Why is that? Is FAU winning because they're such a star-spangled, awesome basketball program? UConn, or FAU's in the Elite Eight because their tradition and their past, and they're winning because of their players. Fans will always keep coming back because the name on the front of the jersey. You win because the name on the back. That's why you win. The name on the back of the jersey. So I was looking at all this and trying to show you how this applies into where Florida is. And the NCAA will likely fall apart. NIL will fracture the NCAA because the NCAA will come out with rules with the NIL, and ADs and presidents will throw a fit. Well, look, the NCAA doesn't know what they're doing. Does the NCAA make mistakes? Yes. The NCAA is the equivalent of me of the police force. Do they make mistakes every now and then? Yes. Are the majority of them good? Yes. Do we see videos of abuse and things that go wrong? Yes. But you have to have some sort of authority figures. There's an AD who some of you know was asked about a commissioner of college football, a czar, somebody that oversee things. And this AD said, well, that guy may not have our school's best interest in mind. That is why you're struggling. Because with that mindset, like if we have some oversight here, that person may not have our best interest in mind. NIL's a mess. And these two guys have the gall and the audacity to hop into the New York Times and write an article. And this is the thing. The players have power. And you know what? Everybody that says the NIL is ruining college sports, how has the NCAA tournament been this year? Have you liked it? You have. Oh, so people have enjoyed the NCAA tournament this year. Has the NIL ruined the NCAA tournament this year? No. How about college baseball, Gator fans? Are you enjoying Jack Caglione and the Gators? Are you enjoying their season so far? So has the NIL ruined this Gator baseball season? No. The college football national championship game was a bloodbath. We know that. We know it was a bloodbath. College football playoff was good, right? Ohio State, Ohio State, Georgia, fantastic game. TCU, Michigan, fantastic game. The conference championships, fantastic. The NIL ruined that? No. the NIL has done has given players power, and ADs and presidents screwed it up because they couldn't handle it. The program, the coaches that put players over program will succeed. They succeed. And they'll continue to succeed. And the ADs and presidents and coaches that put program over players will fail. They will. They'll struggle and they'll fail. Just the way it's going to go. So I think that the next phase in all of this is they'll continue to manipulate, continue to try. I would love to see Florida be the Florida that I remember growing up as a kid. Maybe a little bit older. I wouldn't say a kid, right? An adolescent. And what was that Florida? Think about what this used to be. Think about what this used to be. Think about what Florida was in the 60s, 70s, up through the 90s. Florida was an innovator. They were ahead of the game. What was Florida? Florida was Gatorade, ahead of the game. Steve Spurrier at Florida. Let's go. Fast. Fun and gun. Go, go, go. Offense, go. Quarterback, you're out. You're out. Go, go, go. Let's go. Florida was fast. It was innovative. It was cool. It was awesome. Billy Donovan comes in. Young coach. Young mentality. Fast. Move. Jay Williams. Move the ball around. Quick, quick, quick. Fun. Florida was fun. You know what Florida is now? Old. Old, boring, dull. Old, boring, dull. Florida fun? You consider this fun? Fun, quick, fast, now. Not anymore. Why can't it be like it used to be? And then when people try to make it fun, because fun evolves. So it can't be the fun of the past. It's music. Music evolves. And you need to have the musical taste of an 18 to 22-year-old to be successful. Think about the 90s, the 80s, the 90s. What did you have? Two Live Crew, NWA. That's why Miami was successful. Fast. Now what the kids want. Now what the students want. Now. What are we now? We're an old classic rock station. Oh. I know what we're going to do. We're going to sell people on the past and the traditions of this program. So when I see ADs and presidents taking out, the president and the AD, the innovative one's going to win. So you know what? It's going to happen. Somebody's going to get sued. Who cares? You're going to win. And it's even brought up in the article. This is even brought up in the article in the New York Times. That the athletes, there'll be in the next 18 months, somebody will drag a case in front of the Supreme Court and they're going to win. Somebody's going to pay the players. If the SEC, and the SEC is one of the more innovative conferences in the world, in the country, I don't know, the Big Ten has more money, but the SEC is more innovative. And that we did get the Big Ten network before. The Big Ten understands media more and the conglomeration of money, but the SEC understands showmanship more. So as I look at this, you want to talk about figuring it out? If the Gatorade, 70s, Spurrier, 90s, now, that version today is paying every single player. Scott Strickland and, well, I was going to say President Fox, but no longer President Fox, right? Ben Sass, Scott Strickland. The way to get this done, to make Florida innovative, and you pay each player, pay every football player $100,000. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Starting next year, we're going to pay every player $100,000, everyone. 80 players, it's $8 million. We're going to pay $8 million. Sorry, having every player have $100,000 each is more important than seat backs. Program, players over program. 90+% of people that consume Gator athletics don't go to the games. So I don't care about seat backs anyway. Program, players over program. We're going to be the first school in the country to pay every player $100,000. You're going to get sued. Yep. The NCAA is going to try to suspend you. I don't care. Let's go to the Supreme Court and you'll win. You should make the player sign contracts at that point. Then you sign a 3-year deal with us. You sign a 2-year deal with us. We have something in the radio business called a non-compete, where I'd say if there's another sports station in Gainesville and they wanted to hire me away, they could hire me away, but I have to sit. I can't broadcast. I can't do anything depending on the contract, 9 months, what have you. You pay the players, but you have a contract. Or you could continue to be lame. Continue to wait for somebody else to do it. Lame. Podup with Matthews in the morning is a service of what? Got a variety of things that we're a service of. Hold on. QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics. Got joint pain? I do. Shoulder. I'm getting old, man. And your knees, shoulders, hip, or back won't go away. Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, no downtime. Schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Locations in Ocala, now open in Gainesville. 352-400-4550, excuse me, 352-400-4550. Okay. Questions rolling in. Greg writes in because Seth, coaches move on and make big money when they succeed at small schools. Maybe it's about to get paid. Okay. May. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna. Okay, go get money. I don't know why I wouldn't. I'll go to your big school, get your money. Greg, Gator stale. Yeah. Stale's good. Chris writes in, goes, Seth, our football and basketball coaches are young. You can be young, but if you sit inside on a Friday night, you're boring. Our coaches are young. So there are young kids that I work with every single day in the College of Journalism. Young. Some of them are really, really boring. Billy says all the right things. But fun. Do you consider Gator sports fun? Do you? Do you think 18 to 22-year-olds consider this fun? It's not just losing, because you don't have to be a champion to have fun. Loyola Marymount, Hank Gather in the 80s, they scored 145 points a game. They didn't win championship, but it was fun. Golden State Warriors won a title for the first time in 3 last year, but they were fun. Fun. Let's see here. Greg, I don't want Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's old, man. You don't want Lil Wayne, Greg, but the students do. The athletes do. And you win because of athletes, not what fans want. You win because of what the athletes, the students want. That's how you win in college. You win in the NFL because you're smart and you draft the best players and you pay them well. The NFL, you choose. In college, they choose. People have a tough time understanding this. In college, the students choose. The kids choose, not you. They do. You have to make them happy, not you. You're happy when they win. They're happy when they're having fun and enjoying it. Florida equals Tom Petty. There you go. And I've got the perfect example of this. You ready for the perfect example of this? The perfect example of this is how we here, and I hate this. This breaks my heart. Got the best player in college baseball, Jack Caglione. What have we done with him? What fun stuff occurs at a vent? What fun stuff occurs during Gator baseball games for Jack Caglione. It needs to feel like a party. When Ichiro was in Seattle, it felt like a party. Big Mac land felt like a party. It was an event. As a Red Sox fan, when Pedro Martinez was on the mound, the Red Sox, that felt like an event. It was fun. It was an event. It was awesome. Jack Caglione's the best player in college baseball. Any fun stuff for Jack Caglione at games? I've mentioned the whole right field section out there. Should pack that full of students, turn it into a party, call it Jack's Pack. Turn it into a party. What have we done with him? Oh, there he is. Look at him. God, he's good. He's fun. He's good. I wonder if we're going to hit a home run tonight. Look at Mississippi State rocking. Look, ball 1, ball 5, ball 6. It's a party. It's an atmosphere. Get the best player in college baseball. Nothing around him at all. So then you ask yourself, if you're the best player in college baseball and I can't have any cool stuff, any fun stuff, next weekend, that should be just Jack's Pack. I don't know what you give away. I know we don't have, like I say, Jack in the Box restaurants here, but there's got to be Jack. There's got to be something. There you go. Sports gambling would help a lot of this, but fascinating stuff. Seth, so you're saying that they're boring? You think this is fun? Last 3 years, you think this is fun? But you think Gators are exciting? You think sports programs are exciting? Mm-hmm. Tommy, do your job. Who cares how young or old they are? The students care. They don't want it. They're not lame. They're not boring. They're not dull. It's about them. Mullen brought back in Kodak Black. How'd it work? He had 3 straight 11-win seasons and went to the SEC championship games. How it worked, Chris? Most players become thugs. Yes. Athletes listen to a rap album, so they're criminals. God, guys, you sound old. Come on. Look, fine. Don't make it about the kids. Continue to make it about the past. Continue to make it about the past and enjoy those yearly bowl games in Shreveport. Keep making it about the past. Keep doing it. Keep making it about the past. Keep doing it. Podup with Matthews in the morning, courtesy of Dorian Weavy, Coldwell Banker, MM Parish Realtor. Let your home dreams come true, baby. Call her today, 352-562-1411. Buy or sell your home in North Central Florida. Again, Dorian Weavy at 352-562-1411. Of course, you can fire off anything that you want for us, courtesy of Meldon Law, Facebook Live, also courtesy of the Titan MRI Hotline. I'm joining you today, courtesy of the Titan MRI Hotline. Gang, it's one of these things that's the reality of it. I don't like getting older. I don't like gray hair. There's certain things that's like, oh man, gosh, it was so much more fun when I was a kid. Yeah, no, you know what, Sherlock? It was a lot more fun. I saw a stat the other day that of that generation, 18 to 22-year-olds, that 80% of them have not watched TV in over a week. 18 to 20-year-olds do not watch TV. You relating to them? You know what we are? University of Florida is a home phone, an iPhone world. Athletic department-wise, it is. Gotta innovate, man. Gotta innovate. Guys, if you think this football program was bad because Kodak Black failed, come on. Kodak Black, you don't get it. You don't get it. Something that, again, and I mentioned this at the beginning about Florida paying $100,000 per player. Florida used to be the innovative thing, and I think some of you are missing the point of this. Florida used to be the innovative brand in sports. Gatorade, Spurrier in the 90s, Billy Donovan in the early aughts. Innovative. It was fresh. It was new. Now it's stale and old because everybody keeps looking back to the past. Looking back to the past. Oh, we used to be good. We used to be good. Because when you're bad in the present, all you have to hang on is the ghost of Christmas past. You know when times were better? Back in the past. Think about it. Do winners think about this for a second? Do winners ever long for the past? Losers long for the past. Winners want future. Losers long for the past. And if Florida was innovative and wanted to get back on top, first thing you do is you pay every player. Become the first school to do it. People are going to do it anyway. And the SEC could do this, and I've mentioned this before. How the SEC would do this is create a Monday Night Football product on Amazon. Amazon's got their Thursday Night Football product, and they're about ready to evolve with their Thursday night product, something that they want to do. But if people were ahead of the game here, what you would do is you would innovate and you would add Monday Night Football on Amazon for the SEC. You'd have Monday Night Football games. That'd bring in an extra $700 million, $700 million a year. There you go. Every penny of that would go to the players. If I were the SEC, I'd create a Monday Night Football brand I'd create a Monday Night Football game on Amazon or Google or whatever you want to do with it. I'd create, everybody's starving. These networks are starving for elite programming, elite games, and I would sit there because your afternoon game is still your number one game. I get it. And then your contract, fine, but I would make it elite and I'd flex big games into that sucker. I'd put big games in that baby and I would bring in $600-700 extra million a year and I'd pay these students. I'd pay these athletes. Good luck competing with us, Big 12. Good luck, ACC. We're paying all the guys $100,000 a year. They're going to get sued. Sue me then. Come get me. More Ray Kroc, more McDonald's, more the founder, and less of let's build a restaurant right next to the great restaurant. Head of the game. See what happens. What the NFL is going. By the way, what the NFL is doing is they're talking about flexing games that in prime time that you can't have two losing record teams play each other. That's fantastic. That is. Now, there's one exception to this, right? What was it last year that the Jaguars were playing the Titans and the Titans were 500 and the Jaguars one game below 500, or maybe it was vice versa. The Titans were one game below 500 and the Jaguars were 500 and they're playing for a trip to the postseason. Well, those were two teams don't have winning records, but there's a lot on the line. So I know what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to avoid, here come the 4-10 Chicago Bears tangling up with the 4-10 Raiders. I know what they're trying to avoid with this, but good. The NFL's innovative with this. They're going to flex losers, teams that aren't any good, out of primetime windows. Great. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that garbage. You want to see that garbage? Joe writes in, got a couple more things I want to read. It's about the kids. Aside from Tom Petty in the fourth quarter, they need to turn that place up. Rap music gets people going. And the ones that hate it are so old, they aren't even yelling or making noise, so it's better that they stay at home anyway. Joe, you're a man after my own heart, man. I agree. If you're lame and boring, go stay home. Stay home. I don't want you out. There's nothing worse if you're ever at a party and there's that person. Nothing worse than a wedding reception. Everybody's having a good time on the dance floor, and there's that miserable just sitting over there. Yeah, get out. You're boring. Get lost. Get going. Football's an alumni sport. I'll be in bed by 8 p.m. on Monday night. I wake up at 2 a.m. Chris, it's not about you. You guys got to quit. It's not about you as a fan. Well, I won't. This won't work with my schedule. Who cares? Not about you, Chris. Football's not an alumni sport. It's not. Mullen was all about the party and let the players have fun. Then the players were out of control with no structure. Dan Mullen wasn't mature enough. He understood what he needed to do. Dan Mullen lost because he couldn't recruit. Dan Mullen was fine when he had all the ingredients. Here's what Dan Mullen did, Greg. Dan Mullen used every single ingredient that the former chef put in the fridge. He made all the cool food and made all the fun stuff with the Kyle Pittses of the world and all that. And he had all the fun, awesome, cool concoctions. And what he did is he used all the ingredients. He didn't go get more groceries. That's why he was bad. Florida was innovative with its offense, and the hiring of Muschamp changed the product with an outdated power running offense. Ted? Napier is more like a drill sergeant. We're all doomed. Hey, we had fun today, didn't we? Wasn't this fun? Fast. Fun. All right. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I know I'm back next Monday. So who knows by then? Didn't even get to talk about the NCAA tournament. All right. Doesn't it feel like, before we go, doesn't it feel like it's Alabama UConn? Doesn't it feel like it's Alabama UConn? Feels that way, doesn't it? It does. It feels a little bit like that's what we're going to get. But Gonzaga, UConn, winner that, we're good. So that's at least a semblance of a blue blood there. It is. FIU, Kansas State, doesn't matter what happens there. It's Gator fans white knuckling if it's Keontae. I'll leave you with this going into the weekend. What happens if Kansas State wins this thing and Keontae Johnson's the most outstanding player? Think about that going into the weekend. Everybody, take care. Thanks to Freddie. Thanks to Shane, JC, the whole gang. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. Stay out of trouble, everybody. Thanks so much.